time's a very interesting thing. And if you meticulously plan out your day, there's so much waste in people's schedule, right? How much time do things actually take? Do you really need 2 hours for a meeting? Do you really need an hour and a half for that? And so I'm like a time efficiency maximalist. And I still get 9 to 10 hours of sleep a night, amazingly. So
Yeah, I mean, we were talking with your team and they were saying you work crazy hours.
Correct.
And I was like, why does he work so hard? And their answer was he's just extremely mission focused.
yes, correct. I'm very driven. Yeah.
Does it exhaust you
No.
ever to the point of regretting it?
Oh, no,
Do
no.
you-
I mean, so I'm actually finishing a book. So I actually don't I work a day out of the week. So I take a Sabbath
Mhm.
every Saturday. Turn my phone off, no work, just kids, just family. It's an amazing blessing. So every Saturday, totally off. It's amazing how much work you can get done in 6 days though. And so I wake up early, wake up around 6:30. Again, I usually feel really good in the morning. I don't have any hangover or any of that stuff, right? And I just get straight to work. And I do my show from 9 to 11 local time in Arizona. Once I'm done, I try to just kind of, just eat a little bit, maybe take a 10-minute, 15-minute nap, maybe. I try not to do more than that. It's amazing, like the power of like a 12 to 15-minute nap.
Mhm.
And then I'll just work all day. And then I'll try to train a little bit, go for a walk. But again, I'm in a very blessed position where things really come to me where I used to have to go to things.
Have you always been this way? Like you've had laser sharp focus.
Yes.
You've never felt like you dealt with poor motivation.
No.
You've always just been that way. You don't do anything to try to cultivate this motivation and laser focus.
No, that's a really good question. No, I've always been very driven, like very, very driven. So that's a really interesting point. I thought when I first started this, everyone wanted to be equally successful. Like everyone had equal drive. So I thought that was like an equally distributed ingredient amongst the population. And that was my naivete. I didn't realize that like motivation and like drive and grit and hustle was actually like an exceptional quality. And so then quickly I realized like, whoa, I'm just going to outwork everybody. Like I'm not the most charismatic person. I can speak. I got a good thing going, but I'm not the most. I'm not the smartest person. I go to Harvard Law, right? I don't have the highest IQ, but I can compete with the best of them. But I am going to outwork you. Like I'll put in more hours. I'll read more books. I'll listen to more podcasts. Like I will do more meetings. I'll travel to more cities. Like that I can do.
Have you done an IQ test?
I did when I was young. Yeah.
And what did it come back at?
It was well above average. I don't want to misspeak on the, but I think it was like I don't want to say a number because it's going to get cut up on all that. But it was
300.
No, that wasn't that high. No, it wasn't that high. No, but it was not like quite Mensa, but it was high. Like I mean, I have a good memory, but like I'm not like an international chess champion, right? I'm not like a perfect SAT guy. I had good ACT scores, right? We took the ACT where I was from, 31, 32. Was it respectable? It wasn't like a 36. But so I'm not dumb. I mean, that's not, but I'm a unique combination now that I can see it, which is, I'm like a heat-seeking missile towards what I want to achieve. And that alone can be an incredible differentiator in this space.
So what are some of the sacrifices or compromises that you make because of that heat-seeking missile nature that people may not recognize?
My life's configured now in a way where the biggest sacrifice I have to make is not being home with my kids. And that sucks. I don't have to do that as much. I get to say no to a lot of stuff. And by the way, thank you guys for coming to Phoenix. It's one of the main reasons why this was like.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, I'm going to do
Happy
this
be
more
here.
with more shows. I'm like, you want to interview me? Come to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because my kids are my most important thing in my world. My wife, my kids, my relationship with God, top 3 things, right? God, wife, kids, in that order. And so that's a sacrifice that I just am not willing to make. So I'm just saying no to a lot more stuff. And so, but in the early days, it's so interesting. Like people think like, oh, you had a bunch of donors that wanted to give you money. Like, yeah, that's not the story actually. The story was I was going to find a lot of donors and try to have to scrap and hustle and get like elementary funding because we could barely make payroll for the first 5 to 6 years, right? We could barely pay the bills. This building that we're sitting in right now was not even open till our 6th year. Okay. We barely had an office the first couple of years. And so, yeah, I mean, like you want to be successful, you think it's easy. Okay, I'll show you my flight logs, 200 red-eye flights. You want to go do that? 200 red-eye flights where you have to go sit and perform and give a speech and be on and go all day and be interesting. 1,200 cable news interviews. Fox News at 3 o'clock in the morning. Fox News at 3:30 in the morning. Get up, get on a flight, conference calls, remember the donor's name, write a thank you note, show up, report for the donor. They have questions, they're critical, they're skeptical. Like, fine, okay, it sounds easy, right? And I'm not here to like brag on it, but like there's a lot you have to sacrifice for all this. And it's really easy to look at Turning Point USA because people think they can like recreate it. Like, oh yeah, I can recreate. Like, it's fine. I mean, look, it's the Lord's blessing and providence of all this. But like I'm telling you, man, like there's a hustle behind the scenes, and not just me, it's our team too. Our team works their tail off. Because now what's so cool is like my like maniacally driven purpose is now shedding off on people. And like not everyone can sustain it. They're like, this is too much for me. I'm going to go work for an insurance company. I'm like, that's fine. Like, because the pace here is first class. That's why we get more done. That's why we have more chapters. We have more donors. That's why our budget is bigger. It's because we're just going to keep on growing. We're going to keep on expanding. Because we do not settle for mediocrity here. Excellence is the only thing that will settle.
What do you do now to save as much time as possible?
So I'm a huge scheduler, big time. And so I schedule out days in advance. And I will block out like, this is when I'm going to have conference call time. This is when I'm going to have, this is when I'm going to train. This is where I'm going to eat lunch. Like I go down to like the 15-minute interval. And this is the time that I'm going to go try and, go see this friend. This is the time where I'm going to go just turn my phone off and go for a walk. So I'm very, very precise with time. And then the biggest hack, and you guys know this, nothing new. It's called layering. You know this. So anything you're doing, try to fit 2 or 3 things on top of it. So if I'm traveling to go speak, listen to an audiobook, right? I mean, obviously. So then all of a sudden I'm getting 2 things done at once. If I'm training or working out, okay, I'm also going to be trying to listen to a podcast that I need in preparation.
I take all my calls on the treadmill.
100%. It's amazing, right? Or like, so I try to, I'm a big walker. I think there's a couple health hacks out here that are right in front of us that nobody ever wants to talk about, right? I'm a huge believer in sleep, like massive believer. I think it's totally undervalued. I'm a major believer in walking. I think we don't talk about walking enough, just walking, not running, not deadlifting, not cold plunging, just walking. Okay. I'm a big believer in fasting. I think fasting's like untapped power. And then I just think like not eating terribly is, those 4 things, you're actually going to be pretty relatively healthy.
Yeah. We used to come up with our best ideas taking walks.
Oh, walking is
like a 1-2 mile walk.
There are studies, I think, that show if you have forward movement,
exactly.
Like if you're walking, your brain actually functions at a higher capacity than if you're sitting sedentary.
My best ideas are when I'm walking. My best ideas are when I'm moving. And I go for walks with my kids. So that's another layering, right? So, I mean, you want to talk about like a triple layering. When my daughter was 6 months old, she can't yet communicate, but she'd want to go for a walk and she'd fall asleep. So I'd listen to a podcast while getting a walk, while spending time with my kid. Like that's the trifecta, right? And so I'm really big on that. And so as far as time, you just also have to be able to say no. There's so much wasted time. And look, I'm also in a very blessed position. I'm incredibly blessed. Most people don't have this, but a lot of entrepreneurs do. I don't have to sit around at a desk and do just like wait for stuff to come to me. I constantly can set the terms of my own schedule. Now it comes at great cost and great consequence, right? Because with great freedom comes phenomenal responsibility and enormous responsibility.
I'm sure a lot of you guys remember that last year, we actually had none other than Jordan Peterson here on this podcast. And on top of that just being an incredible episode, it was a massive personal milestone for me because I've listened to him for several years and he has absolutely changed my life with his lectures. Well, I'm so excited to announce a very special update from that episode. We have actually partnered with Peterson Academy to sponsor today's episode.
For those unaware, Peterson Academy is Jordan Peterson's online university and it's open for enrollment right now. If you love learning, want to study under world-class professors, or have ever gained anything from Dr. Peterson's books, podcasts, or lectures, then this platform's for you.
Every single month, Peterson Academy releases 4 new, in-depth, 8-hour university-level courses taught by top experts across philosophy, history, psychology, science, business, and more. These courses are seriously designed to keep you guys engaged, and they offer optional testing to solidify your understanding. Plus, there's also an online community where you can connect with other curious and ambitious learners.
And it gets even better because Peterson Academy is getting funding, and so they've dropped the price from $599 down to $399 for the year for access to more than 40 courses, with 4 new ones being added every single month. They also offer you a 7-day money-back guarantee, so there's no reason not to try it.
Just go to petersonacademy.com/ICH today to get started. Again, that is petersonacademy.com/ICH to start learning today. You guys will absolutely love it. Thank you so much to Peterson Academy for sponsoring this episode.